When we search for the beginning of human history, we are not searching for a date. A place where time itself seems to slow, where the earth remembers what humanity has forgotten. That place is Ethiopia.
Long before borders were drawn, long before nations were named, long before the idea of civilization itself was conceived,
Ethiopia existed as the silent stage upon which the human story began.
more than 3 million years ago, in a harsh and volcanic landscape now known as the Afar Depression.
Something extraordinary occurred.
A small, fragile being walked upright across the earth, leaving footprints not just in ash and soil,
but in the destiny of all humankind.
Her name, given millions of years later, was Lucy.
Discovered in 1974, Lucy was not simply a fossil. She was proof.
On Ethiopian soil. Her bones revealed the moment when our ancestors first stood upright, freeing their hands,
changing their vision, and reshaping the future.
Ethiopia is unique on Earth.
Because nowhere else contains such an unbroken record of human evolution.
In the Omo Valley,
scientists uncovered remains of anatomically modern humans dating back nearly 200,000 years.
these discoveries did more than rewrite textbooks. They redefined identity. Shares ancestry that traces back to this land.
Ethiopia is not just one nation among many. It is humanity's ancestral homeland.
As thousands of years passed, early humans in Ethiopia learned not only to survive, but to understand their environment. They mastered fire, crafted tools, and developed early forms of communication.
The fertile highlands, rivers, and varied climates allowed societies to grow rather than collapse.
Agriculture emerged early here, with crops such as teff, still a staple today, being cultivated for thousands of years.
This continuity between ancient life and modern tradition.
We have the freshest spices and the best coffee in the city.
I'll take 2 bags of the dark roast, thank you.
The past is not buried. It is lived.
By the first millennium before the Common Era, organized kingdoms had already formed. One of the earliest was the Kingdom of Dimpunt, centered in the northern highlands. Its people built stone temples, practiced advanced farming, and maintained trade connections across the Red Sea.
These were not isolated tribes. They were participants in the ancient global world,
From these foundations rose a power that would command international recognition: the Kingdom of Aksum. Aksum was one of the greatest empires of the ancient world.
It rivaled Rome and Persia in wealth and influence.
Aksum controlled key trade routes connecting Africa, Arabia, India, and the Mediterranean.
Ships carrying gold, ivory, incense, spices, and silk passed through its ports.
Aksumite kings minted their own coins in gold and silver,
marking one of the earliest uses of coinage in sub-Saharan Africa.
And demonstrating economic sophistication unmatched on the continent at the time.
The city of Aksum itself stood as a monument to human ambition and engineering. Towering stone obelisks, some over 20 meters tall,
Were carved from single pieces of granite and erected without mortar.
The scans confirm the impossible tolerances.
How did they manage this without our technology?
These structures were not merely architectural achievements. They were symbols of cosmic order, royal power, and spiritual belief.
In the 4th century CE, Ethiopia transformed the spiritual landscape of the world.
Under King Ezana, Aksum officially adopted Christianity,
becoming one of the first Christian nations in history, earlier than most of Europe.
This conversion was not imposed by conquest or colonialism. It was embraced and adapted.
Ethiopian Christianity developed its own identity.
In the medieval age, while much of the world trembled in chaos, Ethiopia flourished as a powerful Christian kingdom.
In the 12th century, 11 churches were carved from living rock, not built upward, but excavated into the earth itself.
These sacred structures were sculpted by hand, connected by tunnels that mirrored a holy landscape.
They were not made to impress the world, but to honor faith, devotion frozen forever in stone.
When European travelers arrived, they expected a primitive land, but discovered a sophisticated and ancient kingdom.
They found written laws, sacred theology, and kings who claimed descent from Solomon himself.
In 1896, Ethiopia shocked the world, defeating a modern European army at the Battle of Adwa.
Here, time itself is ancient. The day begins at sunrise, guided by a calendar older than the modern world.
Ethiopia is not ancient because it is old, but because it never stopped being itself.